What is up, guys? Welcome back to a very special edition of Hardcourt, because it's not just Hardcourt. Today it's Hardcourt and
Dill Talks. First time. Let's go. Come on now.
Exactly. I got the fellow YouTuber who has been doing match play, has been playing college tennis, has been playing a bunch of different high-level players, and I figured the best content would be to have somebody that actually can relate to a lot of the stuff that I do. And obviously we're going to be covering a bunch of stuff that he does regularly, and I wanted to bring a lot of that stuff to you guys. That way we can have two different perspectives for a change rather than just coming from a coach.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I don't coach tennis at all. It's like actually one of my least favorite things to do in the entire world.
Yes, it can definitely be easy to flip from my feeling to that feeling on any day.
Yeah, because I think we talked about it last night, where I was like, I like the tennis court to be like a place where I can go out and relax, as opposed to like being like, okay, I got to go put in 4 hours today and something like that. And like, I mean, everyone's different, just kind of how your life turns. But to me, tennis is like my moving meditation, kind of, so to speak.
I remember hearing that statement specifically yesterday, and I thought it was like the best way to say it. I feel like everybody needs some type of thing to help them release, whatever it is, whether it's jumping and doing something athletic or reading a book. You just always got to have something that can help you like unplug a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. Some people like to run, and those are crazy people, probably psychopaths, but like
the 5K people,
it's insane.
I can't do it.
Nah.
I can't just wake up and run like that.
I can run it after a tennis ball any day of the week, but
yeah. So for the people that are part of my channel that don't really know you, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do, where you're from, how everything started?
So right now we're in Richmond, Virginia. I grew up just a little bit south of here, Chesterfield. We are at St. Christopher High School, so the bougie part of Richmond. It's a nice place. You know, he came down from Philadelphia. I had to show him a nice place. But I kind of played tennis all the way from like 9 to 10 years old up until now. I'm 27 now. Kind of got a late start. I'm obviously vertically challenged, so that didn't kind of help me at all either. So I think I really started taking tennis seriously like 14-ish, like freshman year of high school. And I was like, you know what? I want to go to UVA to play D1 tennis. And I thought that was a realistic thing in my head until I realized there's people out there that are really good, dude.
I got a funny backstory to take it back off. I'm going to save it, though.
No, you got it. Go for it.
So you think you started late. I started playing tennis the summer before my senior year of high school.
Holy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In my very first video that I shot, where I just kind of let people know like my backstory, I played a bunch of other sports. So I was athletically gifted just by using all the other things that I've learned. But when it came to tennis, I kind of discovered tennis just by chance. Like my cousin played tennis, but my cousin didn't live anywhere near me.
Okay.
And one day we were at the family cookout. And family cookout, we're playing basketball. I beat him in basketball, and of course, after you beat somebody in basketball, you have to talk trash. He was like, and he's like, well, I don't really do this. I play tennis. I was like, I'll beat you with tennis too, because me, like a lot of other people, are like, tennis is easy.
Right.
So I played him in tennis. Obviously, it did not go the way that
tennis is not easy.
Not easy at all.
Tennis is not easy at all.
And then, but as competitive as I am, I was like, I've never been beaten at anything that bad.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to get good at tennis. And then ironically, I just started liking it for the sake of liking it. Ended up playing #1 for my high school.
Hell yeah. Senior year?
Senior year.
That's awesome, dude.
Played #1 for my high school. Got to compete against a lot of high-level players. Actually went undefeated that year.
That's wild. Okay. You picked it up like that's crazy, dude.
And then I ended up getting offered a scholarship to a Division II school.
Cool.
So I went there, played, trained, got actual like real training, because I actually didn't have a coach until I got to college.
Gotcha.
And then from there, I went and trained full time, and then over the summers I would start teaching because I was learning a lot more.
Gotcha. Okay. And teaching is a good way to implement kind of the things that you're learning and teach it to somebody else, because you might find a way that they hear it better, and then you're like, wait, that actually clicks in my head as well. Yeah,
teaching definitely is a thing that has its different avenues depending on when you start.
Right.
So like for me, if I had like a super high level coach back then, it wouldn't have been effective because I was a beginner and I had to like fast track a lot of the stuff that I did.
Right.
So interestingly enough, the reason why my Iron Will channel kind of was like motivation for me is I was like, I did in a year what some people fail to do in like 10.
Facts.
So
it's crazy how much you can get accomplished if you just set your mind to it.
exactly. So since that was the way that I kind of framed it, I was like, I wonder what fluff is being taught that makes it take so long.
Right.
And I was like, if I can figure out that stuff and just cut it out, I can show people videos and content that are like, if you just do this thing and don't focus on this, like you can get way more in a short amount of time. You can turn 3 months into 2 weeks.
Dude, I think that also has a lot to do with probably just your mentality and just like your mental ability, because a lot of people have great strokes. A lot of people can learn great strokes fast. If they're on court 5 hours a day at some academy, they're going to get good in 3 or 4 months.
Yes, easily.
But do they have the mental fortitude to like be able to handle those pressures at 30, 40 second serve? Are you going to be able to spin it out wide, or are you going to choke and land? Like, so it's got a lot to do with what's up there as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I see that. And speaking of like the area that we're in, I've noticed that there's a lot of those type of kids that have that upbringing.
Oh yeah.
That ironically, it's weird. Those are the ones that have the biggest challenges sometimes.
Yep.
It's the ones that had a lot of stuff come easy.
Yep.
That are the ones that usually kind of are a little bit more frail when it comes to the competitive side. It's not even a question of how good they are.
Yep.
Like they're great in lessons, they're great in practice, and then you see them in the tournament down break point at
smashing rackets.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, I used to have the worst. I used to be a head case, honestly. I would scream, freak out, throw rackets, and it probably was like sophomore year of college. I think my coach sat me down and he said, Dylan, you're the cancer on this team right now. Like you're the one kind of bringing it down. But he was very, very serious. Like he's like, you gotta change something. And so I went back that summer and trained my ass off and really found a different love for it. But it really wasn't until I graduated that I really kind of found this extra little notch in my mental game where I'm just like, I don't ever walk onto the court and think I'm going to lose. I mean, I've played great people and I've gotten beaten pretty bad, but I never have walked onto a court and been like, God, I don't know what I'm going to do today kind of thing. It's just that belief kind of within yourself. And during COVID, I played so much tennis and got my UTR from like, I always was like a low 9 to now I'm like a high 10. And it was just like 4 or 5 months of just like you said, how much you can get accomplished in 3 or 4 months, dude, if you set your mind to it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a perfect segue because my coach, remember I was saying I didn't have a real coach until I finally got to college.
Right.
We had a guy on our team that was like that, where he was just like a head case. And the funniest thing that my coach did for the team was he was like, I know exactly how to fix this. And I actually used the thing that he showed me, or he showed the team in my facility now. Anytime somebody gets pissed off and bangs a racket, anytime somebody gets pissed off and throws a racket, everybody has to do it. So it diffuses all that aggression.
Okay.
So like somebody will yell and like drop their racket, and then you'll hear 7 other rackets.
I like that. That's actually kind of cool. And then the person who yelled and did it, like, oh, dang it, that was me. Like I'm the one who had the outburst.
But you know what? Our coach made it a rule that we had to do it during matches.
Oh.
No matter when.
So like
we would be in the middle of a point. He was like, my coach was like, if I don't see you put that racket down, I don't care what point we're at.
Yeah.
I'm pulling the match.
And it worked.
It worked because
gotcha, because you don't want to mess up your other teammates and stuff like that.
Exactly. So it started off with just people dropping rackets in practice.
Right.
But then it started happening where we were dropping rackets second serve in a match.
You can't do that.
Exactly.
You're letting your team down when you do that. Because I mean, right? That's so. Because usually people have bad mentality and they're on a team. You don't really see the effects so quickly, but when you do something like that, you realize how much that affects the rest of the team. Because if you don't do something like that, maybe it affects the rest of the team like 3 or 4 points later. You're like, oh, my guy's down. Like, why is he being such an idiot? Now you're not thinking about your match, but it affects you right away, and he realizes that's his fault. He's got to get his act together.
Exactly.
I like that.
It was probably one of the most like eye-opening coaching tricks I've ever learned.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But I use it in all of my lessons and everything now.
Okay.
Even if I'm the one teaching a one-on-one lesson, if a racket hits the floor, I'm like,
right. That's so good, man. Yeah. Growing up, I didn't really have a coach either, like you were saying. Like I had one guy who taught me how to hit a forehand, and another guy who worked with me for a little bit. Then he went to Atlanta, and so it was like 15 to like 18, 19, I didn't really have anybody that was kind of like mentoring me or like believing in me kind of thing. And so I think I took that to heart and was always just so negative on myself. Just, I'd be winning a match up 5-2 and I'm just like, I can't believe I missed that forehand. I'm like walking back to the baseline. I remember my high school coach told me, he's like, Dillon, I look at you and I always think you're losing the match, even though I know you're whooping these kids who like have never played tennis before. You know, some of those high schools are just not good at all.
Yeah, and I've seen those type of players many times where it's like you can't even tell whether they're winning or losing. Like you assume they're losing no matter what,
right?
And they're up like 5-0.
Yeah,
they miss one forehand and their racket's on the floor. They're yelling.
Now I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. Now it always looks like I'm winning, even though I'll be down like 5-love. Like, let's go!
I've seen some videos of you playing and like you're diving and sliding. And I'm like, he's down 5-1. Like, I mean, I'm all for it. Go for it. It's great entertainment. But I'm like, 5-1 and a dive?
You got to, man.
Yeah,
if you're not sure, because that's the thing about tennis, man. It's such a beautiful thing because at any point in the match, it does not matter when you can come back. And I always have this thing. It says a comeback starts to 1 point, and I have like these little mantras that I say as I'm like about to return, like this ball, come back 1 point, come back 1 point, 1 point.
Yeah, it's beautiful though, because that's one of the things that makes tennis so unique. You can literally have won 0 points a whole match and win a match at the end.
Just decide to turn it around.
I've seen people down 6-0, 5-0, and somehow take it to a third set.
Yeah, because the other person on the side, and they're trying to close out a match. People get tight.
Yeah,
people get tight, and then I got all this energy coming at you. All this energy coming at you. People are like, oh my god, what is this? Why is he trying so hard?
me and one of my students actually just played a mixed doubles tournament. We managed to win, but we were down 5-1 in the first set, and we won that first set 7-5.
There you go.
And I was like, I told her, I was like, are you worried? She's like, no. I was like, why not? She's like, well, it's like, you're my partner, so we're
I like that.
I was like, well, I mean, you got a lot of faith in me, but at the same time, like, it's two of us. You good? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, all right, then let's.
And doubles too, things can change so quickly. Doubles is like all about momentum too. So like they're up 5-1, you break them to go 5-2. Like all of a sudden, momentum's on your side. Now you're serving 3. Now you just gotta get a break. Maybe it's the girl serving now, especially mixed. Yeah,
mixed can always be challenging.
Yeah,
because there's always just like that a little bit of. Some girls aren't as confident when they're on the court, and some girls are like super confident. It's always a wild card on how the matchup's going to go.
Yeah.
So mixed doubles was definitely an interesting one because I've played with her in clinics, but it's like different when it's like me and her against 2 guys, or me and her against 2 girls.
What level was she? Was she like a 9-0 team or like?
This was just a open.
Oh, cool. That's
open.
dope.
It was a prize money tournament, and we made it past the first round. Unfortunately, she wasn't feeling well, and we had to withdraw the next match.
That's tough.
Yeah, no, it sucked. But
I play a lot of 9-0 during the winter, so that means 5-0 with a 4-0 lady. So
yes.
Honestly, though, I enjoy it so much because where I play, it's a Hermitage Country Club. Their team is just so nice, and all the ladies that I play with are just like the best human beings ever. And then when you're playing 9-0, like. They think you're like Jesus reincarnated, man. They're like, oh my God, look at that shot. I'm like, it's just a forehand, but I'm like, I love it. All the love, I'm here for it.
Yeah. The interesting thing with me when I played mixed, I had an opposite experience, and my whole team loved me. I was like the most pleasant person.
Right.
But like whenever we would get on court, whoever they would partner me with, I think it was because I was the 5-0. It was like, I would have the 4-0. They'd always try to overplay, like they had to, like they had to help more than I expected them to help. And I was like, we're fine. All you got to do, is what I expect you to do consistently. So like if I know you can rally forehands cross court, then rally forehands cross court.
Do your thing, right?
If I know you can hit backhands, then hit backhands. I don't need you to try to slap the winner down the line. We're gonna be fine.
I got the net.
Exactly.
I'm agile.
Exactly. Yeah, we played a match, and this girl literally tried to slap winner after winner down the line, and I was like, calm down.
Yeah,
calm down.
It's okay.
We're all right. We're gonna be all right.
I always say in doubles, the middle's your friend.
Yeah.
Middle's your friend. Just if you can hit it as hard as you want down the middle, but as soon as you start going out wide, now you're messing with like you might hit it wide, you might hit deep, but if you just go middle hard as hell, like you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
So you were a college player. You went to CNU, right?
Christopher Newport University. That's correct. Yep.
And what was that like? Because I know you guys have a rivalry with another school.
University of Mary Washington, UM-Dub. They have nicer facilities. They have a really nice indoor facility, 6 courts, players' lounge, locker rooms, stuff like that. So if kids are not going D1 and they're in the Virginia area, they're probably going to University of Mary Washington just due to the facility, so they can recruit better players. So CNU is probably the next school on that list, unless you're going to like a all-boys school or something like that, like Hampton-Sydney. But
Okay.
CNU, I mean, it's a beautiful campus. We just don't have that. I mean, Mary Washington's facility indoors it's just better. It's just better. We have like 4 indoors, but I mean, playing a dual match on 4 indoor courts takes forever because you play the doubles and then
half the singles.
Yeah, exactly. And so like, Dillon, you ready? It's been like, I've been here for like 5 hours. I'm like, I just watched my number 4 battle it out for 3 hours on court. You ready to go? No, dude.
I'm tired, man. The cafeteria's about to close.
I've been cheering for like 4 hours already. I watched doubles and a full singles match. But it was a great school. The coach that we had there was fantastic. I think he really taught me a lot about like myself and how to deal with adversity. And he was very fair, I feel like. And I say that looking back now. When I was there, I was like, man, I want to be playing. I want to be playing here and there. And I remember a conversation he had with me. He sat me down. He's like, Dillon, every time we put you against somebody who's over a 10, you lose, and it's not a competitive match. How do you expect me to put you out there against a team that's all 11s? And I said,
fair.
Not at the time, but now I'm looking back at it. I'm like,
as a coach, I'm like, I get that.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. And so it was a great opportunity. And also, I had some really good friends on the team as well. Some guys that I'm still like best friends with, David Reed and Justin Stern. You guys know them as Stern Dog and Dr. Reed. But those are my boys right there. And so they kind of, when I was like getting off the chain and thinking I was going to do something wild, say something to coach, like, Dillon, relax, buddy. You're all right. I'm like, all right, that's good. I had good boys there too. So it was good. I got a good degree as well. And kind of just college is the the number one thing I'm most proud of myself is because I was able, it's all on your own, right? Doing college is all on your own. And I was able to graduate in 4 years, and I failed a ton of classes because I didn't know anything about computer science at all going in. But like I had some AP credits, and I jammed like an 18 credit semester in there 1 year, and while trying to play tennis. And so I remember walking across that stage being like, dude, you guys tried, but F you guys. You guys tried to get me down.
Respect college athletes.
It's hard, man.
It's very hard.
It's so hard.
People complain about like how hard college is by itself, but you've been paid to do a job while you're a college student.
And we don't even get paid at D3.
That's true.
We don't even get paid. Just the love of the sport. And if honestly, you could think that we're the most real athletes. We don't even get paid.
They're going to school. The C1s are going to school for free.
Right, exactly. What was it, D2? You get like 70% or something like that?
They have the ability to kind of play with the money a little bit. Like they can be like, I have 7 half scholarships, or I've got like 3 full and 1 half scholarship.
Gotcha. And how was your team in college?
Which college?
Oh, that's right. You went to like 2 or 3?
Yeah, I went to multiple.
Okay.
Went to Davidson Elkins College, which I was saying went Division II first. I got paid to play for them. And then we're actually like a rebuilding process. So that was just like good timing for me.
Gotcha.
So I helped them on their team. Team was pretty good, but we hadn't recruited a full team yet. So it was like we had 4 real players, and then we had like the people that were like local high school people that just graduated.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then by the time I left there, we actually had like a really solid team. Now, like many other people, I fumbled in classes, so I ended up having to withdraw, and then I got offered a full scholarship to a school called ASA, which is in New York, which is Division I.
ASA, what's that?
Funny story. It's a software school, or at least it was.
Okay.
It was an advanced software analyst, but they got rid of that, and now it's a fully accredited college.
Oh, cool.
Division I junior college. So I went from Division II to Division I junior college.
Gotcha.
Full scholarship, and we were playing against a bunch of the Division I schools. But when you're in JUCO, you usually don't have your own league.
Right.
Like you
have to make your own schedule.
Yeah, you just end up on other school schedules.
Right.
So we played people like LaSalle University.
Oh, cool. You saw some ballers.
Yeah, we played. So I played.
You saw some ballers, dude.
So again, all this is in 2 years, by the way.
Right. Because you started senior year of high school.
Yeah.
That blows my mind, man. That's wild, dude.
Yeah, so number 1, then Division II, then Division I junior college, and basically, because of the way they set up their schedule, I was Division I because everybody we played was Division I schools.
Right. I mean, dude, and that's the thing. If you want to raise your level quickly, just play people that are better than you. You have no choice but to get better.
Yeah.
Because no one likes losing.
No, that's very, very, very true. But yeah, so with me, it was just I always had because I knew I was always playing from behind, just in terms of like my time frame. I always never felt like my spot was guaranteed.
Gotcha,
so
and that's a good mentality to have.
I get recruited. I'm recruited in like the middle of the pack. I graduate. I'm number 1 on the team.
Gotcha.
I transfer schools. I get recruited. I'm at the bottom. I make it to the middle.
Gotcha.
I'm always worried about like because a college coach's job is to move the whole team down.
Right.
Like if you're number 1, and they're recruiting 3 people, they want you to be number 4 because that means their team is that much stronger.
Right. They have a 2-player playing at 4. They're gonna get that win.
Exactly. So for me, it was just like I was always training harder than the rest of the team because a lot of the people were like getting recruited was the goal.
Right.
For me, it wasn't because most of those people have been training 8 to 10 years to get recruited.
Right.
So I actually had like minimal context on like what the top was. I'll tell you how dumb I was when I first started.
How dumb were you?
When I first started playing, and I was like, yo, I feel like I'm really good. I go to a public court. There's this old Asian guy, Mr. Miyagi style.
Okay, yeah.
And he's playing, and he cooks me. And I was like, yo, why are you not a professional player? He was like, what?
He said, what?
Yeah, and he was good. He was good.
Okay.
So I get good enough to beat him, and I'm like, oh, I suck. That's why. So then
you're nothing crazy. I'm just bad.
Yeah. But then I was like, all right, I beat this guy. I know that guy was good. So I end up going to a tennis academy just to like walk around, see.
Cool.
I was like, which coach here is good at like connecting you to being like a professional player?
Yeah.
And they're like, what's your ranking? I was like, I don't got one, but don't worry about that.
And they're like, yo, we have 12-years who are number 1 in the world.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. I had no, but again, I had no context.
No context. Yeah, no, I hear you.
And like me now, as a person who coaches players that have gone on to play juniors.
You're talking about that young man last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I realized how dumb and arrogant that sounded.
Right.
Coming from somebody who's like 17 and no experience.
Right.
But again, one of the interesting things about tennis, which people kind of write off, is being athletic doesn't do as much as it does for other sports.
Yeah.
If you run track and have never run track before, you could go to a great school if you're just fast. Yeah. Football, soccer is a little more technical. Basketball, a lot of us just grow up playing basketball.
Yeah.
But like tennis, athletics is like a leg up, but it's no guarantee.
You still got to have the coordination, still have to have an idea of strategy. You still have to be able to deal with adversity by yourself alone. Nobody's helping you.
Yep.
And you wonder why 12-year-olds are blowing up on the court. Like, they're not supposed to be able to do that. Like, it doesn't make sense.
So then me, 17, I'm like, yo, I'm going pro.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And you know what's funny? I did go pro.
Dude, let's go. All right.
But I went pro after college.
Gotcha.
When I had a chance to kind of like play more and more. So I played a couple of ITF tournaments, but won some matches here and there. I wouldn't consider.
Did you get a point?
Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a professional player.
Okay.
But I played with professional players. Like I didn't have the money nor the drive to fully commit like some people that I know.
See, that's the thing. If you're outside of the top 200 in the world, you're struggling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then for me, like just getting into tournaments, you had to play qualifiers.
Yeah,
to get
3 rounds there.
Yeah, and then you go and then on top of that, you go to a tournament hoping you would get in.
Right.
And then you travel, and then it's like, yeah, sorry, nobody withdrew. You don't get the lucky loser spot.
I guess I'm down a grand.
no on-site alternate. Go enjoy your vacation.
Right, exactly, because it's down in Florida or something like that. Where did you play them mostly?
There were a couple in Pittsburgh, a couple in Florida. I never went West Coast.
Okay.
I just up and down the east.
Gotcha.
Went to South America twice, but that was just like part of just taking a vacation and planning the vacation at that time.
Gotcha. How old were you at the time?
Let's see. So I graduated. I would have to have been like between 21, 22.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so between 21 and 22 was when I did all that stuff.
Yeah, because that's one of my dreams is to play one of those ITFs. Like I just got to do it, and that's a great way to do it. Plan a vacation where they're just, oh hey babe, there's a tournament here. Can I play?
That's the thing. Like there's no loss. Like
right.
if you register for the tournament, go down, hope to get in. but you plan to be there for a week.
Right.
And then they're like, yeah, no spots. You're like, cool, my vacation starts 2 days early.
Yes.
But if you go down and you didn't get that spot, and then you're like, well, I flew down here and now
just for this.
Yes, and now nothing.
Now you're pissed.
Now
you're pissed.
Yeah, so that was the chess move that I did. I just planned little trips around it.
Gotcha.
That's the way it made the most sense for me.
Hey, I got a question for you. So what is the demographics like up in Philadelphia in terms of tennis players? Like, who are you mostly teaching?
I would actually say I've got like a 33. I've got,
okay, word. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good city too, Philadelphia.
Yeah, so I've got like 33% white, Asian, and black. A couple Spanish people, but like not a huge percentage of them, but like pretty well mixed.
Gotcha.
So that actually makes me happy that I don't feel like I'm catering to one group more than the other. And for me, they come to me because they just want to improve. I've gotten the reputation at this point where people come to me because they want to work hard, whereas like other times they kind of just show up and say, who can give me a lesson? I came here because I heard Coach Will was here.
Gotcha. And they're looking for you. Yeah. And that's a lot easier than trying to like show that you have some sort of like tennis knowledge and authority, as opposed to people just coming to find you and things like that.
It definitely feels good.
Definitely here in Richmond, I think it's mainly white people playing tennis, Indians and a couple Asians, but you don't see a lot of African Americans out here, which is odd because Arthur Ashe started here playing at Bird Park, like 5 minutes down the road down here. So, and we have the Arthur Ashe Center, Bird Park, where all these tennis courts in his name and things like that. But yeah, I wonder if it's just because Richmond is such a club-oriented community.
That would be fair.
And, so there's not a lot of, like, public leagues and stuff. That like Atlanta's, like, huge on public leagues. Every neighborhood has their own league and things like that, so it's a little bit more accessible.
That's why basketball and football and soccer are so big, is because it's easy to get in at the ground floor.
You need one ball, you got 10 guys playing.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I would go out to the park before I started playing tennis. I would go out to the park with my 2 cousins, play basketball against 40 different people for 10 hours.
Yeah, and it was the best Saturdays of your life.
Exactly.
Dude, I love ball.
And that's the thing that made tennis so different, was like you had to coordinate everything on your own. Like I feel like the days of like going to a public park and play like winner moves up is pretty much done at this point. Like you go to a park and if you didn't show up with the person you want to practice with, then you're not playing with anybody else. And I think that's why pickleball is killing people now, is because like it has such an easy level of entry.
Right. I think we were talking about that last night. It takes 3 or 4 months to maybe learn how to really rally a tennis ball coming from zero. Pickleball, you can start rallying right away.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, I don't want to sound conceited when I say this, when you're playing at a higher level, you don't want to just show up and play somebody who just can't really rally, because you're not getting anything out of that.
I do that for money.
Okay, hell yeah! All right, that's different. That's completely different.
I mean, but that's what coaching is. Like,
okay.
Like I do that, and people pay me to do that.
That's completely different.
For me to go to a park and do it for free, and it sounds mean, but like I'm trying to go out and relax. But like hitting with somebody that can't hit with me is actually more work than hitting with somebody my level.
Yeah, because you're doing all the running and you're hitting it back to them, and they're like,
"Are you having fun? Look at me beating the good guy." And I'm like, "You're welcome." I'll
hit one good shot down the line, you're like, "Oh, I didn't know you could hit that hard."
Exactly. So like when I go to public parks and just hit around with friends or get together with other coaching colleagues, people are always like on the fence watching us play, because they don't get to see players like that very often.
Right.
But then they're like, "Hey, you mind if I try to return your serve?" And I'm like, if I hit you,
that's a good video idea, though.
If I hit you, I am going to jail.
You hit him with the body serve?
Because it's always,
they don't even know, their brain doesn't know how to process what's happening.
It's always the kids.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hit it hard." I'm like, no. Like, go get this slice out wide.
Yeah, it cuts like crazy. Are you a lefty or righty?
I'm righty.
Okay.
Yes. You were going to find out eventually.
Yeah. No, I was wondering. I was like watching you eat dinner last night. I'm like, is he a lefty? I couldn't quite tell.
You're trying to do recon?
Oh, come on, man. I'm always doing recon.
That's hilarious. You were doing recon at dinner. I mean, I guess that's fair, considering I only have like 2 matches on my channel, and your channel's like all match play. So
yeah, and to be honest, I don't watch any tennis on YouTube. I don't. I watch maybe, like, I don't think I've watched any of Winston Du's videos recently, none of my Tennis HQ. And it's probably honestly just because I don't want to get sucked in, because I'll get obsessed, dude, and start watching all. You know how YouTube rabbit holes go.
It's a rabbit hole.
I'm like, oh, let me not.
I watch people that there's certain people I watch because I want to track their growth.
Gotcha.
Because I'm like invested in how much they're doing. So like Winston's done a lot. You've done a lot.
Yeah.
Caru's done a lot. Like channels like that where I saw, because like I didn't even get into YouTube until it was already like super saturated.
Yeah.
So like it's tough to see people that are like new.
Yeah, but Winston, so I have Winston's, me and Mark Sanset and Winston are in a group chat, and like they're both nice guys, but every now and then I'm like, God damn it, Winston, how'd you do that shit, dude? You're like, he blew up, dude.
He's at like just under 60,000 people watching him now.
Blew up. But you know what? You got to hand it to the guy. He is consistently posting like 2 to 3 times a week, a short every single day. Like hard work gets results.
He worked really hard on it. I completely respect that.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. I remember when his channel was small. I remember when my Tennis HQ was small. I remember when your channel was smaller. So that's why it's so cool, because those are the people that I follow.
Right.
And no shade to any of the other ones like Intuitive Tennis, Essential Tennis, and those guys. But those guys were big before I got into it.
Yeah, and
so
I feel like they got a huge following early on, and I feel like maybe their videos are. I don't really know how Intuitive Tennis is doing, but I know Essential Tennis. He said he was like trying to mix things up. View counts was kind of going down. And
like that, and that's the thing. Like for me, the content that they do is fine, but I'm not interested in it because I already do it as a profession.
Right.
With Winston and you and Carew, I'm actually more interested in how quickly they're growing, because I got in at the ground floor of their channels. So I'm like, I remember when Winston had 5,000. I remember when Carew did his first collaboration with Winston. And like, nobody really knew who Carew was. That
shot Winston up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it was interesting to watch, because I saw them and I saw the trajectory of what they did. So it was, to me, following the movement of their channels was more interesting than the actual content. Because I was like, I would look at a video, I'm like, wow, they got 50,000 on that one. And like the last video they did, they only got like 2,000. So like, that's great. I'm really happy for them.
I do like to, if I see one of their videos blow up, I like to watch the first minute and a half to see if there's like something that they did with the intro. Cause I mean, it's so hard to keep people's attention. So like, I like try to learn to see, okay, that video's got like 250,000 views. Why? Why does it have 250,000 views? And what can I take from that video and implement into mine? Maybe it's a better introduction. Maybe it's like we take out the intro reel that I used to have, like this 30-second like Dill Plays with a bunch of balls bouncing. And I'm like, no one's gonna watch that. So I cut that shit out and just like, okay, we got to just keep it simple so people can enjoy it. And I still haven't figured it out yet. And, you know, I'm still waiting for that big. I think my most viewed video is like not a short, just it was maybe 30K, and that's like a 4-year-old video. Yeah.
Everybody's got their art form to how they do it, that vibes with the people that watch them.
Right.
I think like with Carew, people enjoy seeing a high level player that teaches.
I mean, he's good.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
And like that, I think that was one of the things that kind of helped people kind of connect to me at first. Like,
right.
After the initial, like, who is this guy?
Right.
Like they saw videos of me playing, like, oh, he can actually play. And then they were like, they heard me say like stuff that I've done, like, oh, he's actually like a player and he can coach. Like there are other channels that tell you what to do, but they're doing like, watch Federer's forehand, watch Novak's backhand. They're not showing you. Like with Carew and myself, and I'm not comparing the two of us, with Carew and myself, I feel like people like the fact that they see somebody that can do it, telling them how to do it.
And I think you and I are probably the only 2 African-American tennis YouTubers out there.
I think.
Is there another guy?
Kevin Garlington.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kevin Garlington. He used to be on Essential Tennis. He went up and did Total Tennis Domination. Yeah, so it's definitely not many of them.
Right.
So it's really cool to actually be able to sit down and talk to somebody that isn't on like the other side of the country. Right, exactly, because he's in like California or something like that. I know he was in Wisconsin. I think he moved, because I know him and I saw that video where they had like their farewell and everything. Yeah, they did. Yeah, that was sad. Yeah, I liked watching the match plays and such, but yeah, absolutely, super cool. So before we jump on the court, is there anything that I need to know about the bad whooping I'm about to get?
Oh, I don't know about that, man. Dude, Grace this morning said, she's like, Dylan, you're gonna beat him? I said, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't watch a lot of YouTube tennis videos, so I've seen your shorts like on Instagram and stuff like that. And I know you can hit the hell out of a ball, but dude, you never know. That's why it's so fun. I brought a ton of waters, pickle juice. We got snacks.
Yeah,
I got multiple towels.
Brought the full setup.
Dude, you never know what's gonna happen. You gotta be prepared for anything. So I think it's gonna be a ton of fun, man. It's gonna be a ton of fun.
No doubt. And that's one of the things that's one of the reasons why I was super excited to do this one, because a lot of people that comment on my videos, I have a huge support system, but there are also people who are like, how good are you really? Like, can you do the things that you say you do, or you're just hitting on a ball machine, or you're hitting with your students? And I'm like, you know what, you're right. So I was like, regardless of what the result is today, you'll see me play against somebody that you guys can actually like track how good they were. Like,
and my UTR is pretty reliable too. I have a lot of results, and like I've had good wins over good people. So I'm like 10-8 right now or something like that.
College player, 10-8. You can look at all the matches that he's played on his channel. So like you can backtrack all of the skills, go give him all the views to make sure that he's as good as he's supposed to be. When I put him on the channel, everybody's like, he was all right.
I love it. I love it.
Because that's the thing. Like, I love the people in my community, but there's always the one.
Always a hater.
There's always
I get called 3-5. This is 3-5 at best tennis.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, dude, I love that one. There was a girl that I teach, and like she's actually underrated. I have full faith that she's underrated. Like, I was doing a video helping her work on her passing shot.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I'm doing this video so that you guys can see like me just working through something with a person rather than me just, because everybody says I make it look easy. So I was like, I'm going to do a video where I work on that skill with this person. And then I was like, this is a sophomore in high school. Right now she's at like a 2.3. Right. And she's hitting the ball, and we're going through the passing shot drill. Somebody's like, there's no way she's a 2.3. She has to be a 7. I was like, you can't win.
You just got to get more results. Got to get more results. But dude, it should be fun out there. I'm excited to do it. Got the Hardcourt shoes on. Yeah. Beautiful place, St. Christopher. It's gonna be fun, man.
I see you got something hanging over there.
Yeah, man. I got a T-shirt for you. I'll be right back. Hold up. Oh. So if you guys don't know already, you know, Dill Plays, dillplays.com. Got the merch, but I got one of these 2 shirts. You choose which one you have. You can give the other one to your wife.
I'm gonna go with the already dark gray, so that people can't see the sweat.
I like that.
All right.
And then you guys know I got the hats as well, dillplays.com. You guys go check those out. Now, merch is hard to sell, I'll tell you what.
Yep. Now I got something for you.
We got gifts. Come on now, he's spoiling me.
Now, since I knew you were a CNU guy, I actually made this one specifically.
Oh, dude, no way, man.
With your colors on it.
All right, guys, go buy his shirts. These are way better than mine, man. Are you kidding me? He's got a Nike. Dude, these are way better than mine. Don't buy mine. Buy his stuff, dude.
Now, I haven't set the store up yet. You're actually the first person to get one that isn't coached by me.
This is sick. Go buy one. Go buy one. This is awesome. Dude, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You ready to get on the court?
Let's do it, man.
All right, boss.
Dude, this is going to be fun.